What's up, guys? It's May 26th, Memorial Day, and I'm going to be transplanting a lot of these white Fatalii pepper plants today. Specifically, all these ones in the orange bootstrap farmer trays are going to get transplanted today. These 6 here are going to be in a season-long Dynamyco experiment I'm really excited for, and the rest will be going in a raised bed, along with these ones in the red double cups. These ones in the double cups still have a little hardening off to do, so I'm not going to be transplanting them today. But I wanted to get them out, get them some good light, and I think these are the healthiest pepper seedlings I've ever grown. So I'm just really proud of these. They're looking great this year. But yeah, 9 of the ones in the orange trays, and then these 5 in the double cups will be going in my big raised bed. So that's right here. This is a 4-foot by 12-foot raised bed. And then just on the last kind of foot of it, I have this cattle panel trellis coming down with some cucumbers that are doing really well. So a total of 14 white Fatalii plants going in this, let's call it 4-foot by 11-foot space. As always, I'll be treating these plants with Dynamyco when I transplant them. And it's funny, I've been going through all these little 100-gram pouches, and so I realized that I should buy the bigger container. So I finally bit the bullet and bought the 200-gram thing, and look how cool this is. It's actually packaged like a stick of dynamite, so thought that was really cool. And when you buy the 200-gram container, it's actually works out to like $1 per ounce cheaper than buying the 100 grams. So should have been doing that all along. I do have to buy this stuff too, so saves a little money to get the bigger one. And I just love this packaging. They did an awesome job with that. Also, all of these in the trays and the ones in the double cups have already been treated with Dynamyco when I moved them from their seed starting trays to these bigger containers, except for these 6 that are marked on the ends, because I'm going to be doing a Dynamyco experiment with those, and I wanted to keep it fair. But it's really interesting to see that the ones that aren't treated versus the ones I did treat, there's consistently like a decent height difference between it. So I really do think there is something to this stuff. Before I start digging, I like to just set the plants down in the bed and space them out when you can still play around with it. But I'm really liking the spacing setup right here. So since they're staggered in the rows with the 5, 4, 5, we get about 2 feet per plant, and these pepper plants will get bigger the more spacing they have. But I think this is a good balance of space versus density. So I think these will get plenty big in this raised bed, definitely have access to a lot of nutrients, but still getting quite a few plants into here. So now I'm going to take the ones in double cups out, because we're going to be transplanting them in a few days, and then I'm going to get up in here and start planting the ones in the orange trays. So planting these is very simple. We're just going to dig a hole the same size as our container. We don't want to plant them too deep or anything, and it's very easy to dig right now. Like I mentioned, it's been very wet here in Nashville, Tennessee the past couple weeks, so I think that's about a good size hole right there. See, it's just the same size as our container. We want the soil level in the container to be the same as the raised bed around it. So now I'm going to do a couple things. Take the Dynamyco, and we're going to cover the sides and bottom of the hole with maybe a tablespoon of it. This is our mycorrhizal inoculant. It's a fungus that benefits the roots and therefore the plants. And then I'm just going to take my container. I have really liked these bootstrap containers. It's my first year with them, but they've held up really well. And check it out. There is the root development on our seedlings this year. Pretty good. I think they could have stayed in these containers a little longer if they needed to. It doesn't look root bound by any means. But we will now put our plant in here, and then we're just going to add the soil back around it, kind of firming it into place. And that's 1 down. Then we have 8 to go today and 13 more to go total. Just ran out of the little envelope, so now it's time to use the big boy of dynamite. And just in case you were wondering, all of this straw-looking stuff on the surface of the raised bed is what's left of my crimson clover cover crop from this winter. Okay, they're all transplanted now. I did get a little bit off on my spacing. I think these two should have been a bit closer that way, but it is all good. We still have plenty of room between all of them. That's all the ones from the bootstrap trays planted. And now all that's left to do is plant these ones in the double cups. I'll be back in a couple days to do that. It is very overcast today, so a great day for transplanting. It might even rain again. And during those videos, I'm sure you saw how moist the soil was. So I'm not going to water these in or anything today. Okay, so 9 of the bootstrap plants went in that raised bed. For these 6, I have something special planned. Got my big tubs. These are mostly cattle protein tubs that are empty. They're all about 20 to 25 gallons. I have these 6 seedlings that have not been treated with Dino-Myco to date. I'm gonna do a season-long Dino-Myco challenge with them, just with the same granules that we used before. And then I also have this new product that I'm excited to try. I've never used it, to be transparent, but it's a wettable powder. And in addition to the fungi inoculant, it also has quite a bit of bacteria. So we're gonna water some of these plants with this. And the plan is, since I have 6 of these, kind of getting a bigger sample size than the indoor challenge I did last year, the 2 on the end here will be untreated at all with Dino-Myco. The 2 in the middle will be treated with Dino-Myco granules at Transplant. And then the 2 on the end here will be treated with Dino-Myco granules at Transplant, as well as be watered with the wettable powder every couple weeks. So really interested to see where this experiment goes. I'm gonna start to transplant these now. Okay, I've got them all planted up. Just want to get some good shots of how these plants look at the beginning of the experiment. All very even. Gonna try to keep all factors the same. Gonna fertilize them at the same time and stuff. Did not need to water when I transplanted today. The soil was very moist from some recent rains, but next time I water, probably a little later this week, I'll introduce the Spark to these 2 plants for the first time, and I'll provide a clip when I do that, but for now, we just wait. What's up, guys? The white Fatalis that were in those double cups have been out here for about 5 days now, hardening off, just getting intermittent sunlight, increasing it by a couple hours a day. Did pretty good, got a few burnt spots on the leaves. That'll completely happen though, and these plants are more than capable of just taking that damage and being completely fine. But I think they're successfully hardened off now, so I'm ready to put them in the ground with the others. This one here is a beautiful plant, tons of side shoots. I think it's going to be a really good plant for me this summer. And it's in a clear cup, so that's always fun because you can take the bottom cup off and then check out the roots on it. So good root development too. And some people, when they see these and they see the roots kind of coming through at the bottom there, they get concerned about the well-being of those roots. In reality, that's, you know, just a small portion of the roots this plant has if we were to damage them, but I truly don't think you damage them very bad by pulling them through the cup. And it's this easy to transplant them. So I have it here. I'm just gonna push the bottom of the cup, get it started, and then I'm gonna gently lift. It's great root development on this one too. And those roots all just come and pull right through that hole, no problem. So yeah, a lot of people think you're gonna damage them. I don't think you would damage them pulling them through, but even if you did, like if you had one with a lot of roots in that reservoir, it's completely fine. Compared to all of these roots, a negligible amount really. So these other ones have still been doing really well in the raised bed the past 5 days or so. And again, like I said, I kind of messed up by spacing, but there's still plenty of room for these 5 down here at this end. There's over 18 inches per plant, which should get us some really big pepper plants. But showed you guys how I'm going to pop these out of the cups, and I showed you already how I planted those. So I think I'm gonna call this video here. Thank you for watching. If you want to keep track of these plants throughout the summer, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. That actually helps me out more than you know. So thanks again for watching, and see you guys on the next update.